So can this paddle solve the most common problem for all players, a problem that JOOLA tried even addressing? And that's what I went to Utah to figure out, 2 weeks before the release of their new paddle, ARMA.
What did he take away? It's gone.
That's the secret stuff. That's the secret. This one can't go on camera.
Look, there are a lot of different ways to start and grow a business. And what's interesting is that their journey began on a very different note to where they are now.
Early on, we launched like some lifestyle paddles that were kind of more design, aesthetically pleasing. As we just got more involved in the community and we realized, okay, we kind of have a different vision for the brand, but we're way more focused now on the innovation, the kind of like pushing the limits in a lot of ways with our product. Having that product that's a little bit more of the higher end that's going to improve someone's game.
Now we have a team of about 15 people, so we're still growing fast, and we've loved being part of this industry. And like Bragan said, from the beginning we've tried to involve the customers and the players, and they've helped us paint the picture of where we should go as a business. And like Bragan said, for our brand, we quickly realized we needed to kind of shift focus and focus on innovation and technology, and provide that kind of value to avid pickleball players.
We want our team to be local. We want our team working in the office.
We love in-house.
We can collaborate together, work together a little bit better instead of hiring remote. So
we feel like you can get a lot more done and build the culture a lot better, and it's more fun like in office. Plus we love being surrounded by people that make us better, so.
Yeah, we've got a great team though.
Like Mark Cuban talks about it a lot, that business is like the hardest sport there is out there. And so I think that's the kind of the mindset we have. We relate everything to sports because that's what we know. So like, the Michael Jordans, the Kobe Bryants, the Tom Brady's, like some of those individuals that were just unreal, like out of this world, so good. Well, it's because they expected so much of themselves and they helped the team members around them do that as well. So I think that's kind of what we're looking for is, skill set's one thing, but do they have that, that excitement, that drive in them that's gonna, that will always kind of surpass any skill set that they have. They can go learn that.
Yeah.
But I'd rather have someone that has that's like all in on Holbrook pickleball, all in on the company, all in on our growth, and that wants to be that all-star.
I can't even imagine what it would be like to work at a company like this at their age. Regardless of the size, it's a good sign we see more and more companies emerging and flourishing in this space. It's a positive sign of growth for the sport. I even had a chance to take a lesson with their sponsored pro and top APP pro, Allison Harris.
How do you normally start off a practice session? More of a control guy. This feels good. Okay.
Instead of like a little bit more out front, because you have a perfect, like you drop your paddle low really well and you come over it really well, but it's happening here, which is causing it to go up a little bit.
And while the product is usually what we see first, this entire project goes back to the reason I even started this YouTube channel and the Building Pickleball podcast. I wanted to showcase the people behind the product and the brand. I wanted people to know what they were buying into, who is behind the product. And of course, the part most of you have been waiting for, the ARMA.
When I started working here, my job was to basically start trying to figure out how to come up with a better paddle. That's like really, that was like the beginning.
We gave him a lot of direction.
Yeah.
Come out with a really good paddle.
Yeah, I was like,
That
new.
wows a lot of
I was new to the team. They didn't really have a product developer yet. It was just Kason grinding away.
There's a lot of new people here, and there's a lot of you watching that don't know this, but I can get you a 20% discount at Viore if you go to viore.com/buildingpickleball. You get 20% off your first purchase, and you get free shipping on any orders of $75 or more, and you get free returns. Right now, I'm wearing the Ponto Performance tee. It's pretty similar to the Strato Tech tee, although this is definitely much thicker, and it's a different kind of soft. This is something that I probably wouldn't wear working out. You definitely could, but I would rather wear this while I'm going out to dinner, meeting up with friends, or lounging at home. It's great for traveling because it's lightweight and super soft, especially when you're in the airport, when you're hanging out at the airport, when you're flying.
So I started looking into golf a little bit because I love golf. And this company, they're called Even Roll. I ended up buying one down the road because I love the concept so much. They designed this technology that on the outside of the putter face, there's more material, and the closer you get to the center, there becomes less material that makes contact with the ball. And then again on this side, more material. So the idea is on off-centered shots, when you're not hitting it right in the sweet spot, it still reacts as if you were hitting it right in the sweet spot. So they call it sweet face technology. Wherever you hit it on the face of the putter, you're gonna get the same results.
So like if you hit it here or here or here or here, you know, like wherever you hit it, the ball's gonna go in the exact same spot every time.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, like, I mean, we call it our dual density core. It's the same concept. You got more density, higher density on the outsides of the putter face that gives the golf ball a better reaction off the face of the putter. So it goes in the same spot. It has the same power to the contact as well. So it's the same concept.
I was trying to think about what problems we could solve within the paddle industry. Like, what were problems with current paddles? And a lot of what I was hearing was with sweet spot. And with baseball, with the bat, you want the biggest sweet spot possible. With golf, with your golf clubs, you want the biggest sweet spot possible. So I was thinking, like, with a pickleball paddle, I hear a lot about dead spots and a small sweet spot. So I was like, okay, the problem that I want to try to solve then is, well, how can we just make the whole entire face of the paddle a sweet spot? So that's kind of the problem that we set out to solve.
We tried to maximize
Yeah, maybe that's better.
maximize the performance of different aspects of the paddle. We're maximizing the power, and we're
That's better word.
maximizing the sweet spot. So you, I mean, in other words, you're maximizing the performance of your game. Being able to really take advantage of that dual density to give you that big sweet spot. You can, I mean, except for the pros, I mean, people are hitting it out here, you know. It's common to miss hit it, and this just really helps you get that really good reaction, so the ball doesn't die. You're able to return better shots, and then of course the power is incredible on these. So.
Yeah, and we went through prototype after prototype after prototype. Like this really has taken pretty much the whole time I've been working for Holbrook Pickleball and for the Holbrooks. Like, this has been a project we've been working on. We've gone through so many prototypes. The specific cutout that we did, the construction of the polypropylene itself, we went through all kinds of different renditions of that to try to like figure out what the optimal pattern was for where we wanted the high density and the low density polypropylenes to be able to perform. We're designing a paddle for everyone, right? But this is a high level paddle. So we kind of took that into account when we were designing it. We did some research and found that the majority of mishits are not happening down here, but rather closer to the perimeter, like the, you know, where you see the high density polypropylene right there and up towards the edge guard. And so we did like some different cutouts that were like rectangles, like right in the sweet spot. I think we did this, but inverted it. What else did we do? I don't even remember.
I think maybe just different shapes. I think we
Yeah,
did
different shapes, and
cutout
straight
shapes.
across. We did just all kinds of different shapes, but we found that this one did the best job at targeting where all or the majority of the mishits were coming from. So that's why we landed on this specific cutout. And then throughout the progression of the product itself, there also came in like this, everyone started wanting the power paddle, right? That became the big thing. So we're like, okay, well, how can we tweak this to make it hit even harder while staying within those limits, of course.
So what's lending itself to the power? Is it like the cell size? Is it like the
I
foam
think it's a
perimeter?
mix of both.
Mix of both.
Mix of both, but you can talk about it.
Yeah, I think definitely the larger cell size helps, then also the foam. That's what generates the majority of the power. However, the dual density polypropylene helps you maintain that power no matter where you're hitting it on the face of the paddle.
One thing I am curious about is because there is differences here and there's a cut.
Yeah.
There's no like reinforcement. So how is that going to play out? Like, I feel like that's susceptible to maybe like disbonding because that's an uneven area and it's also like a compromised area just because there's no reinforcement there.
Yeah, totally.
That's a great question.
Do you want to talk about that or?
Yeah, I mean, we can all
we
touch
can all
on
touch
it.
on it, yeah.
Do you guys want to start? I mean, I can.
Go for it. Go for
Yeah,
it.
so we've done a crazy amount of durability testing. We've done durability testing at our factory. We've done player durability testing with our pros, and we've done tons of durability testing here. Durability testing meaning we've PB core tested it, we've x-rayed it, and then ran it through a durability test where we basically just beat the heck out of it.
So So
How fast can the Titan go?
Ooh, how
It
fast?
goes up to 70 miles an hour, but when you talk about putting it 6 feet away from the paddle, it's a lot faster than that. So we can do quite a bit of damage on the paddle for sure.
Yeah.
We also use the radar gun down here. We can measure inbound velocity and outbound velocity off of the paddle face.
The UPAA has started doing durability testing on it, and they gave us great feedback on it as well, you know, telling us that based on their durability tests, it didn't break in near as much as a lot of other paddles that they've tested as well.
And then take it back and re-PB core test it and re-X-ray it. And what we found is that the core has not been compromised in all of that durability that we've done. Martin Emmerich, I think he's put upwards of 90 hours on his first ARMA that he got, and we X-rayed it after, and it is completely the same as it was before. And he normally goes through paddles every 2 weeks, and he's put 90 hours on it, which I don't know how many weeks that is, but it's definitely a lot more than 2 weeks. So like, we hear the concern of the consumer and of, you know, you guys as influencers. We are very confident though in the durability testing that we've done, because I've personally have put these things through the ringer back here. So
we've done like small touches, like we do wrap the foam in carbon fiber so it doesn't expand too much or damage the core at all. It helps
That's
us really.
easy there.
It really helps us.
teach and inspect.
Yeah,
It does, yeah.
it really stabilizes.
The consistency.
When they mold this thing, there's so much, you know, pressure, interior pressure, that it holds everything so tight together in there. Like this foam pushes in on, you know, 360 degrees. But yeah, it pushes, like, it really compresses it in those good ways so that it holds it really tight together.
Plus the carbon fiber, the adhesives, you know, that are put on here with the carbon fiber put into the mold, it really holds the core together.
Yeah.
So all those pieces, you know, the foam, the carbon wrapped foam.
There are a lot of moving parts in here, and that makes it a little bit more difficult to manufacture as well. So we are, you know, continually, like, we are working on improving this design even more and innovating it even more, because we believe in the physics behind it. But we are, I mean, this is just the beginning. You know, we're working on stuff that is gonna far exceed this ARMA paddle. We're not stopping, and we're gonna continue pushing for durability, but for innovation as well, and for paddles that just play better than anything else. So
I want to show the graphic design.
Oh yeah, we gotta show that.
So here, let me see
compare
that.
it to that, yeah.
Oh yeah, duh.
So you see the dual density core cut out here. It's in that shape there.
Bell curve.
Yeah, and so
I can
we
hold it.
incorporated that in the design of the paddle, doing that same shape, adding these dots up here where there is the higher density. So it plays into the dual density technology that we created, and
You can see it
kinda
visually.
put it on the graphics of the paddle. So
That was
pretty
this
sweet.
guy's idea, right?
yeah,
That bell curve, baby.
We want the consumer to be the salesman and also Coleman Newton. To be able to teach people, right? If you pull up someone on the court and you're like, yeah, look, this is where the high density is, this is where the low density is.
Let's talk about shapes. We have the T shape. This is the reason we call it the T shape. It's our longest elongated handle, longest handle, 5.5 inch. If you think of like a T, like obviously that's like a long handle. You always think of like Tuies. So two-handed backhand, there's just room in your handle. So we have this in a carbon face, and we have it in a metallic face as well.
Okay.
If you know our Aero line, we definitely launched that metallic, and that's been very popular. So that's the T shape. Then we have the S shape, which is more of like our wide body or squared. Still a decent amount of size of handle. Like I can still kind of fit. It's a little tight, but you know you can fit two hands on there. But it's definitely more wide body. That's the S. Comes in carbon and metallic as well. And then right here we have our X, which is kind of like, think of X for hybrid. It has a decent size handle, but a little bit more of an elongated face.
Is that like a MacGuffin shape?
Kind of,
Looks
yeah.
like- okay.
Kind of. I think this has a little bit longer handle.
Yeah, it's got these ones. The X and the S have a 5.25 inch handle, so it gives you just a little bit more room if you want the two hand, but you also want more paddle face.
So yeah, these are the same. length and handle, just different shapes of
Yeah.
the face.
Okay.
And then the T is the 5.5 inch handle, so you just get a little bit more room. But this one only comes in, the X only comes in carbon, or sorry, metallic. It didn't come in carbon mainly because it didn't pass the USA Pickleball. So we're kind of working on some of that, but at least for now we're launching it in the metallic. But you still get the X shape that everybody loves. So.
What shape would you recommend for the certain types of players? Have you gotten that? You figured that out a little?
Yeah, I'd say a little bit. I think it's a lot of it is just preference. A lot of players kind of know the feel that they like. I'd say, so for your T, you're gonna have a little bit more leverage, and anyone else, Coleman, if you have suggestions as well, but you're gonna have a little bit more leverage or whip on it because of the extra length in the handle. So I think, and especially of course, if you use two-handed backhand, I'm probably gonna say go for a T. This is probably our most popular shape as well, that 5.5 inch handle. So I'd say it's that type of player that kind of wants a little bit more leverage, that can kind of put a little bit more on it because of the room that they have. They can kind of whip it around in the handle. So with the handle.
Yeah, the S shape, it's got more of that square, wide body shape. What I'd recommend, this is what I've heard a lot from consumers too, or people that have played with the paddles. A lot of people like the S shape for more control. You have, a wider face.
A little bit of a greater sweet spot, because of just
it just goes wider.
How wide it is,
So yeah, a lot of people like that one for a little bit more control.
A little bit more of that wide body, a little bit more sweet spot there. And then
similar to the X, a lot of times people that don't like the two-handed backhand like using the X or the S just because they don't need the extra handle space, but they like having that reach or space on the paddle face.
Yeah, so I just say if you kind of want more surface area, that's where the X kind of comes into play, where you're getting a little bit more area to reach, but it's more paddle face instead of handle. So yeah.
All right.
I would say kind of, if you're more of like it's not all the time because we see this, but I'd say a lot of our higher level players tend to be a little bit more of the T. But at the same time, obviously, there's a lot of players that play with kind of like that hybrid shape, our X shape. Allison Harris, our pro that you're going to be, getting some content with, she's coaching you. She loves the S.
Oh, really?
She loves the S.
Oh, okay.
So, and Chris Olsen, I don't know if you watched some of his videos, like he's big into wide bodies.
Yeah.
He's loved the T shape. So it's kind of interesting.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, he's loved the
elongated.
The elongated handle, I should say. But yeah, he's all about that, despite being a big S guy. So it kind of just, a lot of it is preference.
And that's it. I'll save the rest for the podcast, which I'm just about finished up with editing, and that'll include more talk about the business, the product, and of course the team members. And I'll have the private lesson with Allison Harris up soon as well.